Hi friends, welcome back to the Saffron Box. Today in this video I shall be talking about the placement of moon in the third house of your horoscope. So for this we'll quickly understand as to what is the third house all about. Right? So the third house is called the arms of your horoscope in short. So and physically also the hands, your arms, your shoulders are dealt with by the third house. So this house deals with the hard work which you do, the perseverance which you have, the courage, the stamina which you have, right? And a third house is a growth house, it's a upche house. So it deals with any effort which you make towards growth. So it also deals with your immediate environment, so your younger siblings, your immediate neighbors, your neighborhood, surroundings around you. It deals with short journeys, so it deals with change of places, change of residences, short journeys. And very important signification, the third house deals with communication. So how is your verbal communication? How is your written communication? How do you speak? How do you deal with public, with people at large, is what the third house deals with. So that is why the fields of publishing, television, media, newspapers, wherever communicating with a lot of people, communicating with the mass is concerned, third house comes into play. Right? So the placement of moon in the third house tells you that the person puts his mind towards third house matters. So a person, and since moon is the planet of our emotions, it shows wherever our sentiments are involved. So a person having such a placement could be attached to his or her younger siblings quite a bit, right? So there could be attachment with younger siblings, there could be a lot of communication with your neighbors, and such people are seen to be very active in their surroundings. They are not the kinds who will sit at home, they are not the kinds who are introverts, because their mind, their efforts are outwardly, so they're usually extrovert people. And why so? We can understand it with even more ease, because as per the natural horoscope, as per the Kalpurush Kundli, the sign of Gemini falls in the third house. And as we all know, Gemini is a sign of communication, it's an airy sign, and it's a very interesting sign. It deals with communication, deals with public, it deals with a lot of activity, mental activity. So such people with such a placement of moon in the third need a lot of mental stimulation. So they are not the types who will sit quietly without doing anything, or kind of be okay alone and stay lonely. They don't like solitude too much. They like people, they like interactions, they like to communicate. They are either writing, they are speaking, or they are traveling. So since the third house is of our short travels, of change of places, such people like to travel a lot. And when they travel, because the third house is also it also deals over our subconscious mind, such people like to observe things, they remember things, it goes in the back of their heads, it goes in the back of their memory. And when the right time comes, they are able to put their thoughts in words very nicely. So they are able to write well, they are able to speak well in public, they make good orators, right? So it is a house which it shows a lot of activity. And moon being here shows that there are a lot of sentiments involved, there are a lot of emotions involved with third house matters. So traveling a lot, traveling gives them happiness. And when moon is placed here, since moon is a wavering planet, it also shows that all these significations which I talked about could vary over a period of time. There could be fluctuations here. So sometimes the relationships with, if you talk about the finer matters, the subtle issues like relationships, Sometimes the relationships with your neighbors or with the younger siblings could be, one could be very very close, or there could be, changes in the relationship. So the relationships may not be very very steady. So that again depends on the placement of, on the strength of moon placed here, and on the placement of the third lord as well. But there could be wavering changes here, and there could be varying interests, because this house shows our mental stimulation, mental activity as well. So they could be, such a person can be called a jack of all trades, because they love to do things, they have their fingers in too many things at a given point in time. They can never sit idle, they're always busy mentally, physically, traveling, etc. And moon here, when moon is placed in the third house, it directly aspects the ninth house, and ninth house is of long journeys, is of higher wisdom, higher spirituality. So such people over a period of time, as they age, they tend to travel, or they tend to take up long journeys post the age of 35 or 40. That is when long journeys or overseas travel comes into their lives. Before that, usually they do not travel quite a lot till their middle age, that is about 35-40, so to say. So after that, they undertake a lot of long journeys, lot of overseas travel, overseas exposure, foreign elements start to come into their lives. And these people cannot be called religious as such, but they do believe in higher spirituality, they do believe in the existence of God, but they may not be very very religious or very ritualistic in their daily lives. So they may not be doing rituals every day, but they are good conversationalists. They can talk about spirituality, they can talk about a lot of higher wisdom matters at length and very well. Yeah, so that is it. That is my analysis of placement of moon in the third house. Keep watching out this space, and I shall be coming up with the next video with moon in the fourth house very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.